Hey everyone, it's Zoe here. Today I'm not doing any review. It's gonna be a little bit different today. I'm gonna talk about fight cats, I'm gonna talk about warriors, and a few of my unpopular opinions, very unpopular opinions. Okay, so yeah, as I said before, it's gonna be different today. It's going to be much longer than my normal review, which I know is going to be super long, so if you don't want to listen to all of it, you don't have to. I'm probably going to post timestamps in the description box, so if you want to skip to another part, then you can. And yeah, it's going to be longer. I'm going to be way more rambly and ranty than I usually am, which I'm going to be very rambly and ranty, because if you've seen my reviews, then you already know that I tend to ramble and repeat myself a lot, so it's going to be even more messier this time. So if I screw things up and there's a lot of long silences, then it's a lot more unprofessional, and yeah, it's not it's going to be really rambly, probably an hour long, maybe even more. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to do this again. I might do it every month, like a discussion. But I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. It's very time consuming. Anyway, I know this is a huge tangent, but just saying, I don't know, it's very time consuming. I don't know if this will ever happen again. But, I enjoy it, so if I have time, I'll try and do it. I'll probably do it every month. I'm probably going to do Warriors reviews, more than one every month. So I'll try and save time for this. So yeah, it's unprofessional. I'm not gonna do any review. This is just my opinion. If you don't, agree with my opinion, feel free to disagree with me in the comments. You're entitled to your own opinion, and just respect mine and I'll respect yours. And hopefully we can go about it, because some of my opinions are very unpopular, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me, and that's fine, that's okay. I love it when people talk about their own opinions and their own ideas and stuff. That's really cool. I love debates, and I love when people show their own opinions. And it's always worth seeing, if even if you agree or disagree, it's always worth seeing the other side's opinion. Anyway, with that being said, yeah, that's really I have to say with that. I also have a bit of a cold, so if I sound weird, if I sniffle, then yeah, that's because I have a cold, and hopefully I don't sound too bad. So yeah, and I'm probably gonna, again, like I said, I'm gonna sniffle. I'm probably gonna forget what I said. There's probably gonna be long pauses. It's very unprofessional, and it's not like my reviews at all. I'm not recommending anything or rating anything. I'm just simply giving my opinion. I'm here to give my opinion, and that's all. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about A Vision of Shadows. First things first, I love this arc. I loved it. It was my favorite arc since probably the first one. The first arc. Dawn of the Clans was really good too, but I really loved it. But A Vision of Shadows beats it by far, honestly. Yeah, and I personally think it's even better than the first arc. I think it's actually better written. It's written better. I just keep repeating myself, but yeah, it's better written. The characters, I just got so attached to the main characters. Yeah, the side characters are kind of underdeveloped and kind of just there, because there are so many of them in the clan. They just need a whole just mass extermination or something like that to get rid of all of them. They just need to all die from overpopulation or something, or starvation, because they're taking all the prey and some of them will starve and die. That's how it works in the wild, so I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen there. Anyway, not to go off track on that, but yeah, I did really like A Vision of Shadows. The characters I just got attached to them right away. I also, I just want to say this. I really liked Omen of the Stars and Power of Three. And you know, a lot of you are going to hate me for this. I know a lot of you are going to, might go down into the comments and say, yeah, no, you're wrong. Omen of the Stars is terrible and Power of Three is terrible too. Well, first of all, I don't think they're terrible. You know what, you have your own opinion. You can think that, you know, Omen of the Stars is terrible. You know, you can think that. That's fine. But, I don't. I don't know. I've heard people say that it's really bad and that they hated it. It doesn't really change my mind on it. So, yeah. And I really like Power of Three too. I just want to say, it might be because of nostalgia, because the first Warriors book I ever read was Dark River from Power of Three. It might just be nostalgia, but I don't know. Maybe it's partly nostalgia and partly because Power of Three and Omen of the Stars are very character-driven books. They're very character-driven arcs, and if you don't like that, you don't like that. If you like that, you'll like it. You'll love it, actually. But anyways, it's not a review. It's just like, a lot of people complain Omen of the Stars for, you know, first of all, for being like an add-on to Power of Three, which I like Power of Three, and I thought it was just a perfect lead-up. And a lot of people complain about it because nothing really happens, which, I mean, not a lot does happen, because but that's just because of the character's internal struggles, and yeah, because it's, again, like I said, it's so character driven. Yeah, I actually really liked Omen of the Stars. There's not a lot of plot in it. There's not a ton of plot. It's just like, you know, all the character interactions and all the internal conflict, and I just love that. I'm a very character driven reader, so I love that. And if you don't, that's totally fine. But I loved Omen of the Stars and Power of Three, and nothing will really be able, you won't be able to really change my mind on that. And I don't expect to change my mind on yours. I'm literally just giving my opinion here. Anyway, feel free to hate me, by the way, if you want to. I know my opinions are very unpopular. I'm going to talk about something very controversial later on. It's just about a certain super edition that I want to talk about. Anyway, but A Vision of Shadows is probably even better than Open the Stars. Like, it's great. The characters are great. Again, it's quite character driven. A lot of internal conflict, especially in the last 3 books. Not to spoil anything, but like, a lot of people are complaining about how there's like no villain or whatever. No, look, villain in quotes. I mean, I like that. I actually like that. I like books with no villain. I mean, Darktail was like a freaking terrifying villain. Like, he was the most terrifying villain we've had so far. I mean, at least since Tiger Star in the original series. Yeah, I mean, Tiger Star did get a little bit, like, you know, kind of silly in Omen of the Stars. Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion, but Darktail's like a legitimate threat. Like, he's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And like, it seems like, you know, it actually seems like a legitimate threat. Like, it seems like a real threat. Like I don't know. I can't remember when the clans have last been at this high stakes. Like, I can't remember exactly when there have been such high stakes in the clans. It's really interesting. Darktail's a great villain, great development. I love the plot twist in Shower Sky. Shower Sky's like my favorite, along with what am I saying? Raging Storm. River of Fire is my least favorite, because he's kind of filler, but you know what? I'll get to that later. Oh, and I just want to say this, by the way, not to go off track again, but this is what this whole thing is about, this whole discussion thing. It's about going off track. Yeah, the new Prophecy was my least favorite. I actually liked, again, another unpopular opinion, I like the second half better than the first half, probably because I don't like traveling stories all that much. I much prefer like interclan politics, which is what the second half is about, and internal conflict, which I love. I love character development, I love character stories, I love, you know, internal conflict and interclan politics. It's just it was amazing to me. It was really good. First half was kind of okay. I kind of found it a little boring, like the whole traveling thing, but you know what, it's fine. But anyways, so yeah, Darktail was a really threatening villain. The Twisted Shower Sky was amazing. That's why I really can't stand 1 star. I don't respect him at all. Like, this is why okay, you know, if 1 star was just, like, a jerk in Grandmother's Trial, I could kind of deal with that. Like, I could deal with the fact that he was a jerk, but the fact that he abandoned his mate and kids, like, way back, just makes me hate him even more. Like, it makes me hate his personality even more in Grandmother's Trial. Like, it just, I don't like it. It makes him even worse. Like, at this point, like, I hate him even more than I used to hate Greaseball. Like, yeah. So, yeah. So anyways, again, like I told you, there's going to be long pauses here. So if you just want to skip those, that's fine. So, 1 star was terrible. I hated him. I hated him in Thunder and Shadow. That was really the worst. Like, I hated the fact that, like, he wouldn't give Shadow Clan that herb. He would let them keep an innocent kid in their camp just because he had some sort of stupid grudge with them or something. Like, that's just dumb. 1 star's an idiot. I really don't like him. And I could totally see from Darktail's perspective, like, he was very a sympathetic villain to me. I mean, not totally sympathetic. He wasn't, like, Maple Shade sympathetic, where I was like, you really feel for her, but it was more like, I kind of could see where he was coming from, but he did terrible things. Like, he did nasty, nasty things. He really was a piece of work. Like, he was terrible. He was really menacing, terrifying. Like what I said before about him not. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but like, he's a legitimate threat, and probably the most legitimate threat the clans have faced since I can't remember when. Since back in the prophecies began. That's when. And yeah, he just makes all the whole Dark Forest thing seem kind of like small in comparison, kind of underwhelming, a little bit. So yeah, that's just me. And like, I liked how there was like no special powers and stuff. The special powers thing was cool, but like, it just felt very realistic and grounded. This arc, this Vision of Shadows felt very like low fantasy in a way. Like, I know it's high fantasy because like talking cats and stuff, but it's really like a mix. Warriors is because very little magic, stuff like that. But it felt so grounded to me, even though they're talking cats, so it's obviously like not realistic at all. But it just felt so grounded and so real and dark and gritty, and I loved it. I loved how how just realistic, and I don't know, I've been saying these words over and over again, but again, like, it was really grounded. It felt realistic. I liked that about it. Like, I didn't, like, I mean, I liked the cats with powers thing at first and the whole fantasy stuff to it. I mean, Over the Stars really put the fantasy into Warriors, and I like that, but I like the dark and gritty, version of Warriors better. It's more interesting to me. I love seeing the clans go through some real, like, hard times instead of just, like, having magical powers that no one else can know. I liked it, but I don't like it as much now after how amazing a Vision of Shadows was. So yeah, that's it for that. And a couple of other things I want to talk about, in A Vision of Shadows. I loved Alderheart because it's kind of personal to me. He seems like he has a very anxious kind of personality, and he tends to like overthink things, which is so personal to me because I have anxiety, and like, I don't know, I overthink things so much. I overthink things way too much, and I have so many anxious thoughts. I have so many anxious thoughts. And I just love that part of his personality. I loved Elderheart. He's my precious boy. I love him so much. He is awesome. He's the best main character ever. Like, I liked Fireheart in the first series. He had flaws. He definitely had flaws. He was not like Garrus or anything. But I liked Elderheart more because he wasn't as confident. Like, he was very... First of all, he failed in the Apprentice's quest. He failed to find Sky Calendar, which is awesome. Pure awesomeness. I love that part. But he just... I don't know. He just has such a personality that really speaks to me. It inspires me. He is a truly inspirational cat. Like, even though he doesn't have any, like, physical disabilities, but, like, he inspires me personally. I know that's not for everyone. I could see how you might find him annoying, but I liked his indecisiveness. I liked his internal conflict. Thought he had a really great character. I know I'm just, like, singing his praises right here, but, like, I also thought, like, I liked how he wasn't super confident. I like how he, you know, second-guessed himself a lot. Like, he wasn't confident. He was shy. He worried about stuff, like, a lot. Yeah, he was really confident. I mean, he was just so inspirational to me. I mean, what was I saying? He's not confident at all. He's just, he really, he has so much anxious thoughts. He overthinks things. He probably repeats himself a lot, like I do, because I don't even know why I'm saying this. He was just really relatable to me personally, and I love that because he was the most relatable character to me ever. I loved him. I loved him. I loved him. I loved him. Again, this is an opinion, not like a fact. And I know a lot of people don't have the same opinion because they have very different personalities than me. So I just want to say this right now. This is based on my personal experiences alone. But Elderheart's personality really just spoke to me. Again, because I'm not confident in myself. I second guess myself, like, a lot. I don't want to, but anyway, you probably don't want to hear all that, so I just want to say, Elderheart's an amazing, amazing, amazing protagonist. So are, Twigbranch and Violetshine. A lot of people hate Twigbranch's, warrior name, which, I mean, spoilers if you didn't read, River of Fire, I guess. So I guess just me saying Twigbranch's name is kind of a spoiler, but I like the meaning behind it. It's kind of like, it's a bad name, but like, I could see the meaning behind it. And that's the thing, I actually appreciate your name. I like how it symbolizes her strength, her inner strength, her strength of character. I really like that. Although I do like Violetshine way better. She's more complex. A lot of people are saying like, oh, Twigbranch is Dovewing and Violetshine is Ivypool and stuff like that. I don't agree with that. They're completely different cats. Just stop comparing cats like that, okay? Just they're different. I also love seeing the conflict of them being raised in different clans and having to fight each other. Like, I think in like Thunder and Shadow or something, they had to fight each other, and I was just like, no, don't do this. Don't fight each other, please. Please, I hate it when siblings fight like that. I hated it. I mean, I loved it, but like, I hated it because it was so emotional for me, and I saw, because it was from Twigbranch's point of view, and she was like, no, I don't want to fight my sister, please, how do we come to this? And no, I loved it, but I hated it because it was so sad. But I'm so glad they made events in the end, even though Twigbranch stayed with ThunderClan and Violetshine actually went to SkyClan, if you didn't know. Spoilers, but if you didn't know, she went to SkyClan, and she ended up with Tree, which it was nice. That was nice. I just want to say though, like, Needletail. Needletail was awesome too. Yeah, she was really great. Even though she was kind of, I could see how people would hate her. Like, she's annoying at times. Yeah, I could see how she kind of would get on your nerves a little bit, because she was annoying, but like, she was definitely flawed. Like, she was a messed up character. She did a lot of wrong things. She ended up in the wrong crowd. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I really respected and admired Needletail's like character growth, especially at the end when she had to sacrifice herself for Twigbranch. I mean, no, not Twigbranch. Violet Shine. When she sacrificed herself for Violet Shine, it was just so sad. I almost cried. I did cry actually. I cried. But anyway, because it was like, okay, she was pretty nasty, and like when she was with Darktail and the Rogues, she fell into the wrong crowd. She became one of those like rebels. She didn't respect her parents. She didn't respect any like of the she didn't really respect any like of the warriors in Shadow Clan. She and a bunch of other apprentices who decided to rebel. Like there were those like rebellious teenagers and all that like teenage angst and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So she fell in with the wrong crowd, as like a lot of teenagers do. And she made some pretty bad decisions, like bringing Violet Shine to the camp and stuff like that. Like, yeah, but I think she learned her lesson. I was so glad they didn't bring her back after she died. I was like, that was really cheap, you know. That would have been really like a cheap thing, you know. I was so glad she ended up in Starkland. I was so glad she didn't die. I mean, I was so glad she did die. I was so glad she wasn't brought back. That's what I'm glad about. I mean, I was sad when she died, but on the other hand, I'm like, please don't bring her back, because it was kind of like a lot of deaths. A lot of the deaths in Shattered Sky were kind of like, are they dead? Are they not dead? I was also hoping the same thing about Darktail. I hope they didn't bring him back, because it was just too perfect of an ending. Way too perfect. 1 star and Darktail, spoilers, went down fighting each other in the lake, and they drowned. So, and I really hope none of them would be brought back. And, well, partly because I hated 1 star, like he was just a jerk, but I did feel bad for him at the end. Part because it was just too perfect of an ending, and I just knew Darktail deserved a fate like that. Okay, but seriously, I cried when 1 star died. Don't kill me, but I cried. I don't know why. It was before I read Crowfeather's Trial, by the way. Because when I Crowfeather's Trial, I was like, God, I wish I had not cried for you 1 star. God, I wish I didn't cry for you. I regret crying for you. But yeah, like I actually was really sad when he died. Partially because, you know, I did feel sorry for him. I actually really liked him in The Prophecies Begin. I thought he was kind of like a background character, but I think his character like development or whatever is pretty interesting, and he's quite complex. But other than that, I can't stand him. But oh god, I forget what I was saying. What I was saying is, yeah, I'm honestly glad he died, though, because I really didn't want him to come back. Yeah. Anyways, what I was saying, oh yeah, he cried. I cried when he died. So, yeah. And not only because, like, I kind of did like him, but it was because his death was so terrifying. It was actually terrifying. Seeing him, like, you know, just so dying in such a horrible way. Now that I think about it, drowning is a horrible way to die. Like, it's terrible. It's terrifying. His death terrified me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I could not get it out of my head. It scared me. It scared me. Practically traumatized me. Like, more than any death. Probably even more than Tiger Star's death. Like, because Tiger Star's death, yeah, going off track here again, but Tiger Star's death was like, gruesome and disgusting. And, yeah, that was pretty bad. But 1 star's death was creepy, because they never found his body. You know, they never did anything. They never found his body. He drowned at the bottom of the lake. It was just creepy in a way. I know. It might sound kind of strange, but I was creeped out by it. Anyway. So yeah, about Needletail again. I really liked how, she was so flawed, but she just, in the end, even though she made some really bad decisions and went down a bad way, she came back again and, decided that her friendship with Violet Shine was, needed to be saved. She needed to keep that up. She needed to do something. She needed to, prove herself, redeem herself. And she decided to sacrifice herself for Violet Shine. And I just thought that was so beautiful, and so beautiful of a way for Needletail to die in such, an amazing way. Like, I just thought that when she died, I just thought it was just, again, like Darktail's death. It was just such the perfect way to die. Yeah, I mean, okay, now we get to Darkest Nights. And I know I've been all over the place. I've been talking about the first 3 books now, because the first 3 books were all amazing. Then I got to Darkest Night, and I actually liked it. I actually really liked it, because it was very much a character book. A character, like, driven book. I mean, obviously every book is, like, has characters in it. Oh, by the way, I always sound so stupid. But anyway, it was very much, like, a character-driven book. And I actually did like it. Like, that's what kept it from being filler to me. Like, because all the character interactions, the character, like, development, all the internal conflicts, I really like that part. I also really like that they got Echo Song and Freckle Wish back. Well, I mean, oh wait, Echo Song's dead. Echo Song's dead by then. I'm so stupid. Again, like I said, I keep forgetting stuff. I don't know why. But they got Freckle Wish back and Fidget Paw, and I'm glad they got their Menacing Cat back, honestly. Yeah, I'm really glad. Yeah. So, I'm like, that's all I have to say about, like, I'm glad, I'm really glad. Well, I am, though. It's like, Frecklewish is actually a pretty cool character. I mean, I do like her. I haven't seen a ton of her since she got separated in Hawkins' Journey, but I'm glad they got her back. Just because, also because they just need a Menacing Cat. I mean, they can't rely on Leafpool for everything. Again, not to go totally off topic here, I know we're talking about Vision Stress. I just want to talk, like, for, like, couple minutes about Leafpool. I just don't like how everyone hates her. I mean, I know not everyone hates her, but, like, I like her, but I don't, like, love her. A lot of people think she's, like, Amira Sue, but she's not. Like, I don't even like using that word, if I'm totally honest. She's really not. She has she has flaws. She's not perfect. Nobody really treats her. I mean, she does get special treatment. Okay, I will admit that. She does get special treatment because she's Firestar's daughter. But, I mean, everyone in Firestar's line gets special treatment. So, yeah, I don't really see any difference there. I like Leafpool. I see lots of people who do actually hate her. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't have that many huge opinions about Leafpool. I just like, yeah, she's pretty cool. She's alright. I do like her. There are times when she does irritate me, like in the New Prophecy. Again, I thought she was just there as like a kind of camera. Like she was just like it was just exposition or something like that. Yeah, it's just exposition. But she's alright. I didn't like her when I first read Power 3. I don't remember that, but I did kind of like her. Like in the New Prophecy, yeah. I mean, I definitely preferred her to Squirrelfight. Because Squirrelfight annoyed me back then, but now I'm actually able to respect her character. I mean, Squirrelfights, and I like Squirrelfight more now, and I like Leafpool less now. I mean, it was kind of like I didn't like Leafpool at first, then I liked her, and now I'm kind of like, do I like her? Do I hate her? I'm so confused about her. So it's kind of like, she's just meh for me. She's kind of like Spotted Leaf. It's just like meh. Like she's just there. Anyway. Oh, while we're on the topic of that, not to go, I'm going on such a tangent here, but I'm gonna have to talk about Ash for one, like, at some point, and, but I don't know if I should really, like, do that here or not. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I should, like, talk about him. He's a very controversial character, and I have very strong opinions about him. And I'm probably gonna, like, scream about him if I do, so if I do another one of these, I should probably talk about him. And that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, you know, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna talk about Ash for next, if I do this again. Actually, you know what, I am gonna do another one of these, and I'm gonna talk about Ash first. So, this is kind of like in the spur of the moment kind of thing, so I'm gonna talk about Ashburr, and I'm gonna do another one of these, because you need to hear my opinion on him. And it's not good. Alright, so I feel like, okay, I think I'm done talking about A Vision of Shadows. I think I said all there is to be said. Again, this isn't a review. I'm not rating it. So this isn't like, I'm just simply giving my opinion, that's all. I just thought it was freaking amazing. I thought it was really good. I know a lot of people don't like Vision of Shadows, but I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. I know I keep saying that. I keep saying that. I keep saying, like, everything is so amazing. And it keeps, like, even in my reviews, I always give the, like, 5 stars. I give Raging Storm 5 stars. I give Pro Feather's Trial 5 stars. I keep saying everything's amazing. So that's because I'm actually just doing the good ones first, and I'm saving up the warrior books I don't like as much for later. Yeah. So I think that's it for Vision of Shadows. I think I said everything that I said. Oh yeah, and Darktail's Kin. A lot of people, I haven't seen many people bring this up, but a lot of people are saying how there are, like, no female warriors villains. And I just want to say that I really liked how there was the inclusion of female characters in these books in A Vision of Shadows. I mean, female villains. I mean, they weren't, like, the front or anything, but, you know, I'm so glad there were at least a little bit. Like, Sleek Whisker was probably, like, the main female villain in this book. Because Yellowtail was more, like, morally ambiguous, or morally gray or whatever. Like, she was more like that instead of, you know, actually evil. But Sleek Whisker is just such a deceitful, manipulative bitch. I couldn't stand her, but on the other hand, I loved her because she was, like, a female villain, so, like, yay for female villains. Also, I think Maple Shade is overrated a little bit. Like, I hate people who are, like, sympathize with her. I understand why she did that. I do sympathize with her, but I don't like it when people say, oh, she's in the right. She is not in the right. She murdered cats. Okay, so now that we're done talking about that, I know I went off on another tangent again, so I'm not going to talk about A Vision of Shadows any longer or anything like that. And I know I keep going way off track, but again, like I said before, this discussion is pretty much that. Me talking about a subject and then going off track again. So, again, I'll probably talk about my feelings on Maple Shade another one. Again, another reason for me to make another one of these discussions, because I do have some quite complicated feelings on her. Alright, so now to get to the controversial part of the discussion. This is gonna be so hard. Everyone is gonna hate me by the end of this. I can even feel myself just being bombarded by all the hate. Okay. I'm gonna try and calm down. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I loved Yellowfang's secret. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't like it as much as Crowfeather's Trial. I don't like it as much as Tallstar's Revenge. Actually, maybe it's on par with Tallstar's Revenge. But I'm gonna defend Yellowfang's secret And so this is the very controversial part of this discussion, and the part where I'm going to get the most hate is the my part of the discussion where I defend Yellowfang secrets. And yes, I'm going to be defending it and explaining why I like it. I'm prepared for all the hate, okay? First of all, I'm just going to say Yellowfang Secret, before I read Tolstoy's Revenge and Crocodile's Trial, was my favorite super edition of all of them. Sky Clan's Destiny and Fire Source Quest were just kind of boring to me. Kind of boring. Like, they weren't, I couldn't really rate them because they weren't really anything to me. I mean, they were, but like, they were just kind of like nothing books. Just like, stuff that didn't really feel necessary or anything. I don't know. Anyway, I should probably stop talking about the boring books and get on to the more exciting part of this. But anyway, I like this book. I like Yellowfang's Secret better than Blue Star's Prophecy. Which, I mean, I've heard some people say they really didn't like Blue Star's Prophecy, so yeah, that doesn't feel as bad as what I'm about to say, because I know some people really didn't like Blue Star's Prophecy. Like, they practically hated it. So, yeah. But this is the part where I know I'm just gonna get flooded by hate. Because I liked this book. I liked Yellowfang's Secret, again, just to clarify. Well, basically, I liked it better than Crooked Star's Promise. I could just feel like flooding in. Just let it out. Just let it out. I can't tell you how many times I have to say, this is my opinion. So if you have a different opinion than me, just feel free to say it in the comments. Feel free to. In fact, I love it if you disagree with me. I love getting, again, like I said, I love debates. I love getting into debates, as long as it's not like hateful or personal attacks. Then it's fine. But please, please, please don't like completely kill me for having my own opinion. Okay, now that I've said that I actually like it, I actually really like it, I love it, I'm going to explain why and kind of defend it, but also say that, this is my opinion, so don't, please, I'm not trying to force my opinions on you. I'm not trying to shove this down your throat. I am literally just explaining my extremely unpopular opinions on this topic. Anyway, so the reason why I loved Yellowfang's Secret was because it was very dark, and I know Warriors is a very dark, actually a very dark series. It deals with a lot of dark subjects, but, and I know other super editions like Blue Star's Prophecy and Crooked Star's Promise were very dark. I'm very sad, and I still love them, by the way. The Blue Star's Prophecy and Crooked Star's Promise are some great books, but Yellowfang's Secret just took that darkness to a whole different level of dark. And a lot of people might not see it this way, but I love, I don't know, I love psychology, and I especially love abuse and just the psychology behind it. It really interests me, and I love all the darkness behind it. I don't know, I really love it. So yeah, so saying that, I realized that Yellowfang and Ragged Star's relationship was very abusive, and Ragged Star was an abuser, and he was an emotional manipulator, and I know that. And I realized that it really didn't, when people, I first heard about it online or something, someone was talking about it, and I was like, it wasn't shocking or anything, I already knew. But, without anyone having to tell me, I knew. But instead, I was kind of like, yes, finally someone else realizes that this is an abusive and toxic relationship. This is not something you should want to be. And I'm not one of those people who would be oh, I don't like this relationship because it's a forbidden romance, and everyone should just follow the code. Or forbidden romances are so cliche, and they're so overused, and they're used a lot. Yeah, I will say they're used a lot, but like, I actually don't have a problem. I've never seen anyone say this, but like, I am probably the only person who doesn't have a problem with forbidden relationships, and as long as they're done well, like, I can actually really enjoy them. Like, I'm sorry, I don't. Lots of people hate it, and they hate it, and they hate that trope. They hate it. They hate that cliche, and they just. I'm sorry, they just can't stand it. I know I repeated myself like way too much here, but I actually don't have a problem with it. So, I mean, I do agree that it's a bit overused, but as long as it's done well, then I actually really enjoy it. So I can't complain or anything. Like, it's actually a trope that I actually do enjoy. Um, so yeah, but that's not, like, I hate when people use that. I mean, that's not even Ragged Star and Yellowfang's problem. The problem is that it's an abusive relationship. Which, I mean, in the end, I like these dark relationships. You just have to see that it's not like a healthy relationship, or a relationship that you should look up to. It's like the same thing with Finleap and Twigbranch, which I will talk about later. It's gonna get its own rant. It's not in a vision of shadows because I'm disorganized, but also because I just need to talk about it. I mean, like, it's not gonna be as controlled as in, like, calm as it was in the review for Raging Storm. But anyway, a lot of people also don't seem to like Yellowfang's secret. I mean, they hate it because it ruins Yellowfang's character. I want to confess something again. I read this before. I actually read the prophecies again, so I can't really talk about that. I mean, when I look back on it, there were kind of a lot of differences between Yellowfang and Yellowfang's secret and Yellowfang and the prophecies begin, but I don't know. I actually did like her in Yellowfang's secret. I thought she was nice. Like, I mean, I did enjoy her. I think that over time she became what she was in the prophecies again. Like, she she wasn't born like that. Like, I think a lot of people expect her to be born like that, but I think I've been repeating myself so much here, but I think she started out with a more, like, idealistic view and stuff, and then turned, like, how she was in the prophecies again, because, first of all, her life was just, it was so sad. It actually made me tear up, and I closed Yellowfang's secret feeling, like, so depressed. Even Crooked Star's promise couldn't make me feel that depressed. Like, I closed it feeling with a heavy heart. Like, oh. Yeah, like, Yellowfang will do so much shit in her life. It just, it's so sad. It makes me tear up every time. And I mean, I know how it ends when, she meets Firepaw and stuff. And I know it'll turn out well for her. But, because after that will pretty much be the happiest time in her life. Like, because she's had a pretty bad life. But, I don't know. I love that ending. A lot of people say it's rushed, but I feel like, it was actually done on purpose. It wasn't like a happy ending. It wasn't clean. It wasn't all the ends were tied up. I love open endings. I really like open endings, and I really liked how it ended. It really with uncertainty. Like, it was like she felt like she had a positive future, basically, but it was not looking good for her then. Like, she was like, Yellowfang was basically like, okay, guess I'll die. Like, I'll die here on the territory, and that'll be it. Or, I could get rescued. I don't know which, but yeah. So, yeah. I like that. I like that it was an open ending, So, yeah, I actually had no problems with the ending. A lot of people don't like the characters. They say in Yellowfang's secret, they say they're kind of one-dimensional or whatever. And they say they're just not very nice. I mean, I think I've heard that from a lot of people. A lot of, like, reviews and stuff. To which I have to say, yeah, the characters in Yellowfang's secret are not nice. They are flawed. characters. They are kind of screwed up. They, they're just not that good. But I feel like there were a few good characters. I really like Cloudpelts. He was great. I really liked how they fleshed out Nightpelt. He was he was one of my favorite characters in this book. He was awesome. My least favorite character was Broken Star. Obviously, he was horrible, but yeah, Nightpelt was really good. Also, again, I said I really like Cloudpelt. I liked how they were fleshed out. I hated Foxheart. Like she was just awful. She was like Thistleclaw, but worse. If that's even possible, because she and Thistleclaw are like the worst, like, villains ever, or like the worst antagonists ever. But yeah, a lot of the characters are just like completely messed up, and you know what? That's fine. I like reading books with messed up characters. I like reading books with flawed characters, and Yellowfang Secret gave it that to me, which I can complain. Which leads me on to my next point: Ragged Star. I actually liked him. I liked his character. I thought he was weird. Like, he had so many, like, mood swings and whatever. Like, a lot of people hate him. A lot of people hate him for basically emotionally manipulating Yellowfang, which I agree, he did. He emotionally manipulated Yellowfang. And he abused her. And he always gave her the silent treatment whenever, like, they were having a fight, and whenever, she disagreed with him. And when she wanted to become a medicine cat, he tried to prevent her from becoming a medicine cat. And he manipulated her. And he abused her. And that's not excusable, and it's not, pardonable or anything, if that's even a word. Like, it's not, like, I'm not condoning that. It's not really, like, I'm not excusing his behavior. What his behavior was really trashy. I didn't like it. It was awful. It may sound like I'm kind of trashing Yellowfang Secret. I'm really not. I'm just saying, like, Ragged Star has a horrible personality, and he's so, he would be nice sometimes, but then he would just be horrible. Like, he would just be he would act like such a shitty person. It'd just be awful. It's just, I don't know. He's really twisted. And that's what I think. And he's so complex, though. He's so interesting. And, and that's the thing. Like, it's almost like one star to me. Like, I like Ragged Star because he's a leader with flaws. And yes, I know what you're saying. There's also the reason I love Tall Star, because even though his flaws aren't as obvious, he still has flaws, which is great, which is awesome. And, okay, I don't like Blue Star as much. I still like her, because I know that's what people are going to say. Be like, oh, Blue Star has flaws, too. So, like, yeah, and, like, I don't know why. It just, I like Blue Star, but Ragged Star just seemed more interesting than Blue Star to me. I mean, Blue Star's interesting, but I just like Ragged Star more. I just found him so interesting and so complex and so deeply flawed and so screwed up, and, he did things terribly. Like, he was terrible at some points. He was really abusive, and none of that can be excused, but, he's so complex. I love his character. I appreciate him for being a really, really flawed, really just, I know I've been repeating myself over and over again, but I'm just trying to get my point across. Lots of people hate Ragged Star, and this isn't the point where I'm like, oh, how could you hate this character? I don't understand why. And it's the same thing with the whole book in general. So it's like, it's not like I'm saying, like, I don't understand how you can hate this. I understand why people hate Yellowfang Secret. I totally get it. I totally get it. I understand. This book is not for everybody. I would not recommend this book for everybody. And, with Ragged Star, I could see why people hate him. I understand why people hate him. Like even if you don't, like, if I took away his character and just looked at him from a personality point of view, like, I would hate him. Like, I hate his personality. If he's real, I would hate him. I would completely and utterly hate him. But his character, and he's so interesting, and he stands out to me in such a way. He's not like a lot of love interests, or even a lot of, like, abusive love interest. I personally find him way better done than Ashfur. Like, he's way better than Ashfur, honestly. Because Ashfur's weird. I'm gonna talk about him later. And Finleap, I hate him too. It just seemed completely out of character for him to do that. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent here, but what I'm saying is that there were other abusive kind of love interests that just weren't as interesting. Like, it was still, like, it was dark and stuff, and I found the darkness cool, but, like, the characters just, I don't know what it is, honestly. But something about Ragged Star is just so interesting to me, and maybe it's just because he's always been that way. It's not like he was completely nice and he turned around and started behaving, like, abusively. Like, maybe it's just that bothers me. You know, I just really liked him as a complex character, and I just thought he was one of the best characters, probably in Warriors. He's one of the best characters in Warriors. I really like him. It's the same reason I really like Crowfeather. He's the best character. He's also one of the best characters in Warriors, and I like it. I really like Ragged Star, and again, this is my opinion. I'm not trying to force it on anyone. I'm not trying to shove it down your throat. I'm just saying. Anyway, so yeah, and after all that, I'm just like, I know. I'm kind of like, I've got no more things to say. But actually, I mean, I do. So, also, a lot of people, I've got the feeling that, like, a lot of people don't like it because it's kind of like info dumpy. I can see where that came in. I didn't like it because, I mean, I thought a lot of people didn't like it. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like it because they thought it was slow paced. I like books with slow pacing. I just do. I mean, I know I'm just listing off. It looks like I'm listing off, like, a bunch of things about, why people didn't like Yellowfang Secret, and then coming up with my own, like, excuse or, like, explanation, and which essentially I am, but, like, it's not like saying, like, oh, this is why you should like Yellowfang Secret. No, I'm like, no, this is why I'm kind of defending it, but not really. I'm mostly just saying, like, why I like it. I like slow pacing. I like slow pacing. Not everybody does. Some people find it incredibly boring. I did actually appreciate Skycling's Destiny way more than I used to, because it is kind of slow pacing, not a lot of high stakes. But so yeah, that's why yeah, I like slow pacing a lot better now. I'm able to appreciate it, and I know, again, it's not for everyone. That's why this book is not for everyone. Again, I'm only stating my opinion. I'm not trying to force it on you. I'm not saying that this book is for everyone. I don't recommend it for everyone. In fact, I only recommend it for a certain amount of people, people who like that kind of, like, dark content and stuff. But yeah. So that is my opinion on Yellowfang's Secrets. Again, this book is hated by a lot of people. So I really hope I didn't offend anyone or anything like that. So again, just, this is my opinion, and after that, I just feel so, I'm worried people are gonna really hate me now, but, it's too late. I've said all I can say about this book, and again, like I've said, I'm essentially just saying why people hate it, and then giving my own reasons for, why I like it, like, basically taking those reasons and, like, twisting it, like, into a positive light. But, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, like, discount those reasons that people hate it. I mean, they're negative, but, like, obviously I can get behind those reasons, and I can definitely understand why people would hate it for those reasons. I just happen to have different like taste than other people. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about Yellowfang's secret. Yeah. All right. So now we are going to talk about Finleap and Twigbranch. I went over this already in my Raging Storm review, but it was kind of calmer. And I don't know, like, if you didn't think it was calm, then you're gonna hate this, because this is practically me screaming. But I don't know. I mean, it was way calmer, and it wasn't really calm at all. So this is gonna be a huge rant. Just be prepared for that. So Finleap and Twigbranch. At the end of the Raging Storm, it is said, like, I think Aldehart says something like that, oh, that Twigbranch seemed bigger, as in implying that she was expecting kids. And I'm just like, no, 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 no way. Like, okay, if Finleap and Twigbranch do end up expecting kids in the Raging Storm, that, I mean, not the Raging Storm, in Lost Stars. See, by the way, just going off a tangent here, I like these actually better than reviews because it's way unprofessional. I don't have to be like all like trying to remember every name and just like worry about screwing it up, because if I do screw up again, I just correct myself and go along. So this is why I like these discussions actually more, even though they're way more time consuming. Anyway, if they are expecting kids in Lost Stars, I will be one very angry fan, because their relationship is just so sick and twisted in the Raging Storm, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's the same reason why I hate Ashford. It's just he's the same. Finleap is the same as Ashford. He pushes and he pushes and he pushes, and he doesn't say no. And like, even when Twigbranch says no, I don't have kids, he pushes and pushes and pushes her, and he's like, he begs her. He's emotionally manipulating her. Like I said before, I like dark content, but something about Finleap just rubs me the wrong way. Like, first of all, it felt really out of character. Like, it wasn't really like he was always emotionally manipulative and abusive. He wasn't always like that. This just felt really strange and out of character, because before I actually did like Finleap, I thought he was cool. I thought, I actually kind of shipped them, but I don't anymore. I don't ship them one bit. No. They should never end up together. Twigbranch should run away from him. Twigbranch should run away from him as far as she can, because he's not good news. He's bad news. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. And I don't care what anyone says. And I mean, this isn't really an unpopular opinion, because I've heard a lot of people say Finleap's behavior was terrible, which they're not wrong. I mean, there's a point where, like, unpopular opinions just, I mean, at some point, I feel like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I just feel like if you actually think this is a healthy relationship, you might want to rethink that, because it's not. It's really not. It's just. I didn't talk about this in the Raging Storm review, but Finleap insults Tree. He insults Tree. I actually love Tree. Tree is one of my new favorite characters. He's just, I could go into a whole nother ramble about Tree, but I'm not going to. He's very cool. But Finleap insults him. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I know I've said that lots of times, but I hate it. I hate Finleap. Why did he have to insult Tree? I don't know. It was completely unnecessary. Like, why he felt the means to insult Tree? I don't know. It was... At this point, he was as bad as Ashfur for me. Like, Ashfur's just the worst of the worst, and I'm going to talk about him later in a different video, but basically, Ashfur's like the lowest of the low for me. He's completely unredeemable. He's worse than any cat ever, and like including 1 star. Like 1 star's way better than Ashfur anyway. But anyway, Finleap really reminded me of Ashfur, and also Bumblestripe, because I really don't like Bumblestripe as well. He was like begging and begging, and what is it with all these Toms begging these she-cats have kids with them? What? What is going on with that? No, seriously, what? It just really, really ticks me off. I don't like it. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's anything to be looked up to. It's terrible. And, you know, it should die. Okay, you know what I was saying before about, like, how forbidden relationships are, you know, I mean, they're kind of overused, but they're not a trope that I hate. They're actually a trope that I quite enjoy, and if they're done really well. But this is the trope that I hate, and it's becoming, and I know a lot of people in the comments, again, probably going to say this isn't really a trope, but it's becoming one, because first we had Ashfur, then we had Bumblestrike, then we have Finleap. It's the trope where, you know, the male love interest gets angry at the female love interest, and then either does something terrible, or pressures the she-cat into being with him, or something like that. Something terrible. Just does something really out of character, and suddenly becomes abusive all of a sudden. This isn't like one of those characters who's like always been abusive. Okay, this isn't like Ragged Star. It's not like a character who's like been like kind of a jerk from day one. This is completely different. This is out of character. And I am sick and tired of that trope. And, okay, so I quickly realized this rant wasn't just about Finleap. This rant was just about, like, the entire, like, love interest getting really angry, or, like, being really forceful and abusive trope. Like, that's the root of the problem, basically. For me, like, it's not just Finleap. I realize there's like, I feel like there's like a common like theme in all the cats that I hate, like Ashfur and Bumblestripe and now Finleap. There's a common theme, and those cats are like being forceful and abusive and just angry and desperate and just being like, I need to be with you, or something like that. Like, you know, you don't. You really don't. These she-cats can be fine without you, you know? And I mean, I am a little bit glad that's not the she-cats who are, like, being really obsessive over the Toms. I mean, I'm almost glad it's the other way around, because it could be really problematic if it was, like, the genders being switched. But, like, you know, the she-cat going to desperate lengths to be with the love interest. But, no. I'm sorry, I'm really angry at this. I am so angry at this. I know I've repeated myself way too many times now. So, I know. I have talked for over an hour, and I'm gonna end it here. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, again, this was Ooh, this is a long ride. Yeah. There's not much more I have to say. Again, this was like completely unprofessional. This was not like one of my calmer reviews. Yeah, so yeah, again, I think this will be happening every month. Now that I think about it, I probably will probably record one in a month because I have lots of unpopular opinions, and yeah, I need to get them all out. I need to just say them to the world. So if you like that kind of thing, then I don't know what to say. If you like that kind of thing, watch them. If you don't, you don't. So that's it. Hit that like and subscribe button thingies down in below. And I guess I'll see you next time to talk about more fight cat thingies. Oh, I'm so done. I am so done. See ya.